What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a knife review for a new model today. Let's get into it. Really cool. I haven't seen something new in a little bit. I had something recent, but it's been a little while since I've seen something new from them. But what are we looking at today? We are looking at the CJRB Nova. So I do have a couple of them here, and I will talk to them a little bit about some of the differences that I'm seeing. As you can see, we got the all murdered out version here with the silver pivot collar, and then we got the, I guess I would call it polished blade satin with the G10. Both of them are G10. Both of them are very affordable models. But let's go ahead and do today's review. We're going to start it off with some size comparisons, guys. All right, so for the full size, I am swapping it out for the bug out because I kind of feel like this is where it's reaching into, is that type of genre. And then we have the Spyderco Para 3 lightweight on the table, and you can see this is definitely a full size, if gents-like type knife. Let's do a couple more size comparisons. All right, and now we have the Kaiser Towser S, I always want to say K, and the Devo Knives Growler on the table, and you can see this is longer than both of those models, and it is more slender as well. Let's check out the profile of this one to see what it'll be like in pocket. All right, so you can see the Nova is definitely going to be longer in pocket than either one of these, but it's very close to the bug out. The bug out has that ultra deep carry pocket clip on it, so it is going to pull up in the pocket a little bit, and overall very comparable to the bug out as far as that thin, slender profile. It's definitely going to be a little bit bigger than the growler. And then as far as thickness here, it is very close. It's slightly thicker, but it's very close to that bug out. And then the growler with its contoured scales is going to be a little bit thicker at the most contoured point. Let's grab the scale and bring it out here and check the weight. All right, we got the scale on out here, guys. What we have here are nested steel liners on G10 with AR RPM 9 and all steel hardware, and it is very pocketed on those steel liners to try to save a little bit of weight on here. So coming in right at 3.2 ounces, so just over 3 ounces in case anyone is curious, compared to a bug out with the aluminum applied weapon tech scale still coming in at 2.5 ounces. The bug out with the FRN scales, which it's known for being ultra lightweight, comes in at under 2 ounces at around 1.9. So it is going to weigh a little bit more than that, but considering all the steel that you have on here and the way that this one's being built, not bad. Let's go down to the garage and check out a little bit of cutting with it. All right, guys, we got the Nova in the garage. I expect this AR RPM 9 to do outstanding. CJRB usually does a really good edge, and this is a compound grind with a really thin hollow grind. So, whoo, boy, it was like there was nothing there. I'm not even gonna lie. Let's go ahead and kick it off with the zip tie first. Not a ton of belly here, but I'm gonna do my best to negotiate this. Let's see here. I think I got enough just out here on the flat. Yeah, so, oh boy. I mean, I didn't even feel that I had started the cut on that first one with the bite there. That is very thin, guys, very thin. I don't know how it'll go with the denim here. Again, it's a Tonto, so you got a flat edge and a little bit of belly here, so I'm going to use the belly to start the cut in, and whoa, that definitely went through really good. It has a ton of bite. It is just sawing into the denim, guys. I mean, holy cow. Now I am feeling, because of that thin blade stock and the thin knife itself, I am feeling a little bit on the index finger where I'm using it to kind of help drive my power into the denim there. But man, it has really got good bite. Let me go ahead and grab some cardboard here. I'm going to try to cut under the tape so I can save a little time and not have to use the glue gun. But jeez, that is just bananas how easily it went through that cardboard, guys. And then we got a little bit of double ply here out on the ends, so that's nice too. help kind of push it a little bit to see if it's catching any there, and it's really not. All right, so we're over here on the tape side. I'm just gonna go ahead and pinch grip it up and just check out the tip. Wow, just wow. It is really digging into that cardboard. I'm trying not to push too hard because what I'm doing is just going across the cutting board where it's messed up there, but it is really easy to control. What I am feeling though, again, because of the thin nature of it, where I'm pushing down to get the power, and then the thumb stud is digging into me when I want to do that pinch grip there. Let's just check really quick. How did the RPM 9 off of this little bit of cutting, but cardboard is a demon. Let's just, okay. Yeah, there is a little bit there. It feels like it's closer towards the, I don't know, I lost it now. Is it out here? No? Inside? Okay. Feels like it's a little bit on the inside, and that could be some adhesive or something like that. But truth be told, I mean, it feels really slicey still going through here. All right, guys, we are back from the garage. Full disclaimer, as soon as I got these, I did the disassembly with them. So they've been disassembled, clean, and lubed. Both of these have been. So we're going to jump into a spine whack test knowing that. All right, so it passed the first one there. It's a very solid lockup. It's actually very tough to disengage these, so I'm not too surprised there. One more. Very nice. Let's do the other one so we can just see, is it consistent, and does the coating on this make any difference at all? All right, so very consistent, solid lockup from both of these models on the table. Let's go ahead and jump into thoughts and impressions. And just for the sake of the camera picking it up a little bit easier, we're going to use the uncoated version here. Ergonomically, it was super comfortable, guys. This is great. Very well chamfered, knocked down around all of the edges there. I'm able to get a full 4-finger grip on here using the scallop section for my finger, and then if I want to ignore that scallop section, I can choke up here, but I will say I do notice a little bit of digging at the top of the bottom. But if you really need to get up to that edge tight and use that this way, it's fine. Honestly, with my thumb over the pivot, I do kind of protect the sharpening choil for that. Now, the pocket clip is reversible. It is a steel fold over standard pocket clip type deal here. Catches and goes in and out of the pocket nicely. Good springy action here, so in and out of the pocket, it's not going to be a battle, and it is good retention there in the pocket as well. Very simple, reversible pocket clip T6 on the pocket clip T8 hardware everywhere else. You actually do have a captive pivot here. I thought it was not captive because it does have the bolts for both, but I think that's just to keep it from potentially spinning, I guess. I'm not really sure. So it's really weird. The captive part comes up to the show side and the D shape is here. What I would like to see from CJRB is just flip that and make it a sterile pivot. That would just look cleaner if that's possible. I would imagine it being sterile on the captive side would keep you from needing to do that. But the captive part comes in from the pocket clip side, and the D cutout is at the very edge here, so it's perfectly rounded here, which is nice because no side to side, no up and down, and there's no pivot lash at all. Like, the machining on this is excellent. It came centered from the factory. Both examples came centered from the factory here, as you can see. Sorry, I just realized the green one was off screen a little bit there. And same thing here. We just tested the lockup, solid side to side, up and down, zero pivot lash. I love to see that. Actually, it has backed out a little bit. So we'll do a quick adjustment here, and you can see the T8 hardware, and the disassembly will be coming soon. I think that was enough. Hold on, let me check. Oh, no, I don't know. It felt like it moved, but maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't. Oh yeah, I didn't move it. I definitely felt it move that time. Okay, now we're solid. Oh, maybe I went too far. I thought I overcorrected. I thought that would be enough. All right, we got that one straight. All right, back to the one that we can see. We got a Tonto with a compound grind, very thin hollow grind, guys. It's super, super thin behind the edge and stays thin for a good part of the hollow grind. And it is more robust out on the tip, but it's still a pretty slicey flat grind. It feels very, very slicey, and it performed very well on the table also. It does have stamped ceramic bearings in the pivot. Access to the lock bar is a bit of an issue. For me, I can't get to this and disengage it. Like I feel like I'm pinching. I'm pinching the meat, trying to get in there with the meat of the finger. I have found what I need to do here is actually, and I'm sorry, my thumb is chewed up because I've done a couple reviews and there were guillotines and I wasn't getting out of the way fast enough. But for this one here, what I have found I need to do is kind of rest the fingernail on here and then pull up to get a little bit of meat on it as well, and then kind of dig into that lock bar like you see there, and then it drops onto the thumbnail, and then I can move out of the way and then shake it the rest of the way home. Not a guillotine, but very smooth from the factory. But I have found that's the only way that I can disengage except for the pull-up. And then for the pull-up, I can kind of push the jimping here until it reaches where it does the same thing on the finger with this part of the blade. It rests on there and then get out of the way. But as far as sliding it over, I can't do it. I cannot slide it over no matter how hard I try without it really digging into the finger there or the thumb. So I have to kind of push, and you can see it's just digging into the thumb. Very uncomfortable for that. I would have liked to have seen them do some milling on here and just give us a little bit more relief cut, and or just leave a little bit more on this side. I think that would have prevented it from affecting the ergos too much, and it still would have been really easy to disengage. I really love the blade shape on here. When I got this and I pulled it out, I was like, oh, this is very, very basic looking, guys. It's got a little harpoon I can see, so that's cool. And then when I pulled it out and I saw that it was compound ground, hollow grind with that harpoon, I think it's a really attractive blade shape, and it really pulls up the aesthetics of the knife overall when you get it opened up. Really a joy to use. It's a $50 knife with AR RPM9, which I continue to enjoy more than I do 14C28N or Nitro V. Better edge retention, very easy to maintain, and very tough. Yes, 14C28N is still going to be tougher, but this is not a fixed blade, it is a folder. So this is going to be tough enough. If you're doing something where you're cracking or breaking this blade, you probably should have been doing it with a fixie, not a folder, guys. Let's be honest out there. D10 is outstanding on this one. Sounds like a little bit of oil got on there when I was messing with it. Yeah, I can see it on there. I don't have a Q-tip immediately available, but I'll get there in a second. Reverse flick, satisfying too. If you like to reverse flick your thumb studs, I didn't quite disengage that enough. Now, what I will notice is the detent is more stout on this one than it is on the coated blade, and I don't know if that has to do with the coating. That still might be a little tight. It might still have to do with the coating on here, but it does feel a little bit lighter and easier to fail. Not that I can do it consistently, as you see, but you got to really kind of just not want to give it the beans. And I did clean both of these out, and the detent holes looked really clean when I was done, but this one just feels like it's a little bit of a lighter detent, and or it's just not gripping as much because that coating on the blade still hasn't come off enough. So I probably need to spend a little bit more time with this one because I've really carried that satin one more so. But the all blacked out one looks good. A little harder to see that it has that compound grind to it, but it is really nice overall. And again, $50 full size knife. If you did not like the one that I did recently, the Hector, and I forgot what the other one was that I did that was a little bit more full size. If you don't like the crossbar locks, this could be a good alternative here for you. The G10's nice. Not overly grippy. Might be able to see a little bit better on this one because it's not blacked out. Grippy, but not overly grippy where I don't think it's gonna sand away at the pocket as you take it in and out. But definitely much harder to fail this one. Very, very cool. $50 is not going to be a whole lot of alternatives I'm going to make to this one, to be honest with you. I mean, there's a ton of different options out there, and the community might talk about some good alternatives. Oh, it's starting to pull at my nail a little bit from having to dig in there. May make alternative recommendations down there that you can check out. For me, the Nova is really good value for money, and I love their RPM blade steel. It performs really, really well. It's between forged and stamped. I forget what they call it. It's like the hybrid of the process, which makes it a little bit tougher than just your regular 9CR, which is why I think it holds an edge so well, and why it is so, so much tougher than 9CR for me. And like I said, I actually enjoy it more than 14C because of its edge retention and its characteristics and capability. So I like it for the money. $50 is great. Let me know what you think about the Nova down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video on your way out, do me a favor and hit that like button. Helps the algorithm. Comment below and let me know what you're thinking. And thanks for hanging out to this point of the video. Special thank you to my channel members. You guys know that the extra layer of support really goes a long way, so I appreciate you for that. I hope all of you have a fantastic week, guys. Thank you to CJRB for sending these along to check out. I hope they send some more models along soon. I really enjoy checking out their new stuff. Love you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.